4 this way. 1, 2, 3. And then there you go. Let's graph our line with our nice little handy-dandy ruler. And there you go. Okay, good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now it is your turn to graph some lines. So you're going to make sure that you need to write the equation in slope-intercept form, then find the y-intercept, find the slope, and then graph away. Those are the 4 things. So you're going to have example 2A, check it out 2B, and 2C. So go ahead, get started on all 3 of those, and then we will come back in a little bit and talk about it. Here is our friend the Pause Dragon doing his job and reminding you to pause, go work these problems out, and then when you finish, check your answers. All right, see you in a bit. Bye. All right, we are back. Let's do this. I feel like I need a little glitter in my life, so we're changing it up. So we need to put these in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Yes, that is the formula. You need to have it memorized. Then we are going to solve for y. We're going to isolate it, get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 4x from both sides, and we are left with y equals negative 4x plus 4. If you did that right, great job. Now we need to identify the y-intercept and the slope. The y-intercept is the number off to the side, so that is b. b equals 4. The slope is the number right next to x, so the slope is equal to negative 4. Perfect. Let's graph it. We graph the y-intercept first and then the slope. First, second. Okay, so the y-intercept is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And then we graph this, the slope, but we need to make this slope a fraction. So super easy, just put it over 1. And this is the rise over the run. Okay, so we're actually going to fall 4. Okay, so we go down in a negative direction 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go in a positive direction 1. 1, there we go. And then we do it again. We fall again 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go in a positive direction 1. And then we do it again. We fall 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go over in a positive direction 1. And then we can do the opposite, right? Because the slope, this is the same thing as a positive 4 over a negative 1. They're both negative 4. They mean the same thing. So we can, from this y-intercept, we can go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the negative direction on the run, which would be negative 1 right there. And then that's it. Okay, let's make our beautiful line. It's a beautiful sparkly blue line. Oh yeah, that's good. There we go, right there. That is our line. If you got that right, great job. You did a good job. Let's do on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And it is time for a different color. All right, so slope-intercept equation is y equals mx plus b. That's what we need to get this in. And we need to solve for y. It's not by itself, so we need to divide both sides by 7. What we're left with is y equals 2/7 x. Perfect. That is slope-intercept form. All right, what's our y-intercept? Our y-intercept is the number over here, but there is no number, so that means that y-intercept is 0, and that's totally okay. What's our slope? Our slope is the number attached to the x, and it is 2/7 times x, so our slope is 2/7. Perfect. Let's graph it. Our y-intercept is 0 right there, and then from here we're going to do the rise over the run. That means we're going to rise up 2, 1, 2, and go over 7. That's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And then we can do the opposite because this is the same thing as negative 2 over a negative 7 because a negative and a negative is a positive, which is the same thing as 2/7. Okay, excuse me. All right, we're going to rise a negative 2. So we're going back here to our y-intercept is 0, and we're falling down 2 units. 1, 2, and then we're going over a negative 7. So that means 7 this way. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. We are ready to graph in this lovely color of green. Make it nice and thick. Okay, there we go. That is our line. Our magnificent and wonderful line. All right, we are on to our last one, the grand finale problem. Check it out, 2C. Let's see how you did. I am dying to know. Okay, we are going to put this bad boy in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. The best form in the world for graphing all linear equations. Okay, we have to isolate y, get it by itself. Right now we got this 5x, we got the 4, we got to get rid of the 5x. So we're going to do its inverse operation, which would be subtracting 5x to both sides. That cancels. We are left with 4y equals negative 5x plus 8. Now we have to get y by itself. It's not by itself. It's attached to this 4. And how are they related? They're related through multiplication. So it's time to divide. We are going to divide this by 4. And I want to just divide the whole thing by 4, but I'm not going to do that because I remember that I'm doing linear equations. And whenever I'm trying to graph lines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by 4, and then I'm going to divide this by 4. I'm dividing it in sections. Okay, so 4 divided by 4 here is 1. 1 times y is y. Equals... just going to leave this as this, negative 5 over 4x. And then plus, what's 8 divided by 4? Well, that is 2. Well, there you go. There is our slope-intercept form. Y is completely and contently all by itself. Okay, then we're going to talk about the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept? Well, it's the number out here on the side, and that is 2. And then the slope is equal to negative 5 over 4. Now remember, the slope is the same thing as the rise over the run. So what we are going to do first is graph the y-intercept and then the slope. And the slope goes to, you start from the y-intercept. So here we go. Y-intercept is 2. Let's go to 2 units. 1, 2. Boom, right there. From there, we're doing the slope. And we're going to rise, but we're rising in a negative direction, which kind of feels more like falling. So here we go. We're going to fall 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go 4 in a positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to rise in the negative direction this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 in a positive x direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Perfect. And then we can do the opposite because this is really the same thing as a positive 5 over a negative 4. So we're going to go back to our y-intercept of 2, and we're going to go up 5, a positive 5, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the negative direction for the run, which would be this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Now we are ready to graph our line. Let's do this. Okay, I think we are almost there, almost all lined up, and it's looking pretty good. So let's do this. Yes. And we are now graphing lines. Doesn't it feel good? I think so. Okay. You are now making pictures of these wonderful algebraic equations that you guys have been working on for a couple months now. So if you did this all right, yoke denki mashita, you did a wonderfully magnificent job, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.